Welcome to Trek Trav, I'm Trav, and this is us talking about Star Trek Legacy. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to, it's up to you. And let's get into why I don't think Star Trek Legacy will happen, quotation marks, in the way people think. So as soon as Star Trek Picard ended and we got our nostalgia season, which was basically the TNG crew with Seven and their children, we got a new ship in the form of the Titan A. We got a look at sort of the Federation's inner workings, a new bad guy with an old enemy, but two old enemies, and funnily enough he said they weren't. And we got a sort of mixed bag of all these characters' lives progressions, and we got to see them again. We got to bring back Data. I had a lot of issues with Picard Season 3 in terms of how it treated Picard Season 1 and 2. But the reason I don't think that Legacy will happen in the form that it will is because it's prohibitively expensive. Not to mention marketing-wise difficult. We've already got Star Trek Strange New Worlds with the original Enterprise in it. We've got possibly a Star Trek 4 with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto with an Enterprise in it. And Star Trek Legacy, if the Titan A is renamed Enterprise, will have an Enterprise in it. Sure, you can have multiple Enterprises, because we do have multiple Enterprises. Having three at the same time isn't really what I would consider to be marketable. It's the same reason I don't think Star Trek 4 will happen, because Strange New Worlds is the current Enterprise on TV. It is a show running, it is very popular within the fan base and outside, and going back to such an old well doesn't really work for Star Trek 4 because you've already got a Spock in Star Trek 4. You're muddying the waters on things. Like, fans will get it. Fans will understand. Fans will go and see it. That's great. But in terms of marketing to mainstream audiences and other people, turning around and going, this is the Enterprise, no, this is the Enterprise, no, this is the Enterprise, makes it confusing. Now, I didn't like the design of the Titan A. If you'd read the Star Trek Titan books, Captain Riker was the captain of the Titan. It had the most diverse alien crew. It had an amazing science facility. It was a ship built for exploration. And then you got the Titan A, which looks like a Constitution class with the back cut out. And I thought, okay, it's a Titan A. When they made the Titan A the Enterprise, my first thought was no, because they knew what they're going to do before they showed it, and I was like, no. To me, the G doesn't look like it's a progression of the TNG era. Why is that a problem? Because ultimately, if you shove that up on screen, it looks too similar to other Enterprises that it doesn't have a distinguishable look about it. It's moderately, to me, ugly ship. I actually felt at the end of Picard that the ship should have been called the USS Picard. But obviously they wanted to nod to the TNG era because that was a giant nostalgia season. And as I said, marketing the G when you've got two other Enterprises, you've got one moderate, quite successful Enterprise series in Strange New Worlds, and you want to get a Star Trek 4 on the show, like, I can understand mixed universes, and I know that sometimes people are separate fans of the Kelvin timeline films and not the Prime Universe, but to have a Prime Universe Enterprise, an alternate universe Enterprise, and then another Prime Enterprise, while it's exciting for fans to speculate what a new Enterprise will be doing with Captain Seven, Raffi, and all of that, it's prohibitively expensive because fans now will be expecting a giant nostalgia session. That's what they set up in this universe. We've got Tuvok, we've got Seven, and also we've got, and to be fair, it's the Nepo prize. Like you've got Jack Crusher as an officer. You've got you've got Geordie's daughters as officers. You've got Seven, who was already in a previous show. You got the only original one from the Picard TNG Future new character is Raffi, and in my opinion, that doesn't deserve its own series. A ship with an old crew member and the kids of other crew members and TNG cast might pop up. The show is prohibitively expensive in that it's done in LA, not Canada. These stars, Jerry Ryan wouldn't be cheap. Raffi would be more expensive. You've got the production costs being super expensive on a show which, if you tie it into the TNG era too much, will ultimately feel sort of meaningless to a mainstream audience. They'll see these crew members and go, oh, there's all this history that I haven't seen, so why would I watch this? And that's sort of the thing with Strange New Worlds. It is very much although Spock is a familiar, but he's mainstream familiar. General people know who Spock is. General people know who Uhura is, particularly in America. Whereas I would arguably say people know who Picard and Riker and all that are, but they don't know who these kids are. General audiences don't know this. The nostalgia doesn't hold up for a long-term series. The only reason they did for Star Trek Picard is because season 1 and season 2 wasn't bringing in the figures they wanted. It felt very much like a backpedal. I don't know whether it felt that way to you. But they very much can't start fresh if they're bogged down with character history and character backstory on everyone. Like, even Raffi's got a little bit of backstory. Seven's got backstory. People will expect Janeway, they'll expect Tuvok, they expect all these people. Whereas with the Chris Pine movies, they have much more mainstream appeal. People will go see that because they know that the Star Trek Kelvin Timeline movies are fun. People will watch Strange New Worlds because they know who Spock and Uhura are, they don't know who Pike is, they don't know who Number One is, and it's the Enterprise, it's all the staples of Star Trek in one show, while being episodic, while being fun. These are all new actors and new way things are done. Now, you would think that the nostalgia for Strange New Worlds and the Star Trek Legacy series would be sort of similar, but not really. We know that Chris Pike dies in the future, but we don't know what he does up until then. We know Una appeared in the cage, but we don't know what she did after that. Uhura, we know where she went. Spock, we know where she went. And it's interesting to see those characters grow. But mainstream audiences know Spock and Uhura and Kirk. Whereas Legacy with Seven of Nine and with a bunch of children, you've got those children's histories with the main character. The main character's histories. There's a lot of baggage with Star Trek Legacy, and a lot of storylines of which you kind of need to know why they're there. Like, it's all good setting up an Enterprise G, but why the hell is Crusher advisor to the captain? Jack Crusher, the kid, well, the young guy. I get why Geordie LaForge's daughters are there. I get why Raffi's there on a level. I get why Seven's there. But why is Jack Crusher an advisor to the captain? Why does the ship look so classical and not modern? It's an interesting thing to look at within the Star Trek universe. Star Trek Discovery went in an opposite view. This was new stuff, new things happening. It was my cats are fighting. It was new things happening, and people didn't like too much new stuff. Star Trek Lower Decks is sort of an homage series while being part of the canon. Prodigy is a kids series. Strange New Worlds is the one that most of the fan base at least likes. So, and that's the Enterprise. So you don't need another Enterprise. I think with the Warner Brothers and Paramount merger, if it does happen, I hope the focus is on one live action show at a time, or maybe two, but anything more than that just seems superfluous. I think, in my opinion, that we don't need a Star Trek Legacy. It feels like marketing wise, it would just be returning to that well, probably one too many times. It was fun while we had Star Trek Picard Season 3. It wasn't my favourite season, but I did enjoy seeing all of my favourite childhood characters again. Would I want to watch their children? Not really. And I also feel, as I said, 3 Enterprises, even 2 Enterprises, is hard to market. People don't release 2 Iron Man films at exactly the same time. People don't release, they wouldn't release a Star Wars film about Luke Skywalker next to a Star Wars film again, next to Anakin Skywalker, because the marketing would be difficult. Anyways, what are your thoughts? This has been my video, Star Trek Legacy. What do we think? Tell me in the comments, make sure to like, comment and share, and I'll see you next time, probably for a review.